Well, look who's here, and welcome, friends, to the dying embers of season 4 of Going to Ground with me, Andrew Rumsey. It's been a longer pause even than the ones we've had hitherto. Oh, there's Effie in the background. Well, I won't let her in. She's getting to know my dog-in-law, my mother-in-law's dog, Tilly, and there's a certain shall we say, friction between them. All would be well, I'm sure. But you know how it is when creatures meet each other. Uh, Not for the first time, actually, but in the early months of their relationship, things are settling down. I'm sure they'll be firm friends in due course, but we're just preparing for Sunday evening supper. And I thought, having returned from leave, at the end of a long summer, and certainly a summer of absence from these regular little posts, I would get in touch with you and say hello. You may notice I'm in a different setting. Now, I'm next door in my new study. The familiar, slightly cramped, but enjoyable surroundings of my study hitherto, which groundlings will have noticed on many previous posts, have been swapped with my wife, Rebecca, who is now using next door as her study. And during August, we decided to transfer, and I've won. I think I've done rather well on the deal. This is what was our sitting room and is now my study, with my full library behind me, and things look a little bit different, but I'll show you around at some point. I'm glad to be in here. I'm next to a French window and have the door open, and it feels a good place to work and to reflect. So here we are. How are you? It's been, as I say, several weeks, and the reason for the absence really is, first of all, at the Lambeth conference, which I must fill you in on, was an extraordinary experience. And then a week after that, that went on until the 8th of August. Then we had a week of receiving 83 bishops and their wives from the Sudans, South Sudan and Sudan, here in Salisbury Diocese, which was an intense experience. That's my dog-in-law in the background, if you can hear that. That's Tilly. The slightly lower tones are of Effie. I think I'm better off in here, don't you? I'll see if I can persist with the post and see how we get on. So Lambeth and the Sudan's adventure took up quite a bit of time. Then I had a couple of weeks off. Then I went down with a sort of virus for a few days. My teenage children once again very generously shared a virus they'd picked up at their music festival in mid-August, and Rebecca and I both fell foul of that. So I hadn't been able to start again as quickly as I might. But here we are, excuses over, and we've got 3 or 4 sessions left on Going to Ground before the century is reached, before 400 is reached, and then we'll have a think. I'll have a think. You can let me know if you'd like it to continue and what we might think about in the autumn. I've been at a church today in the glorious Church of St Mary's, Steeple Ashton, as well as St Nicholas North Bradley. And Steeple Ashton is certainly one of the glories of Wiltshire churches, and I've posted some pictures on my Instagram feed that you can have a look at that. And there's been a huge amount to think about during August, particularly in the wake of Lambeth. And I wrote some reflections on that. That's on my WordPress blog if you'd like to see it. And it was a very thought-provoking, humbling experience meeting with colleagues from, I think it's over 100 countries were represented, and extraordinary, really. I felt that it converted me to the world. You know, I'm a localist at heart, love the parish, and I love neighbourhood, and I believe in loving the world by loving small parts of it deeply and well, and that rippling out to the wider world. But I had my horizons so broadened by this experience where the world came to become the size of a parish in the conference. and about 1,200 delegates, the size of an English village, from across the world, came together to form a temporary pop-up parish, a global community, genuinely, for a fortnight. And I found it extraordinary, and I'm still trying to make sense of it all. And I think it's changed my outlook on all sorts of things. I hope permanently and for the good. Still a localist, still utterly committed to the importance of locality and place. But I found a new sense of how localities across the globe are brought together, particularly in Christian faith and belief in Christ. We, who are many, are one body because we share in one bread, as we say in the communion service. And it's something that I want to explore further in my thinking and writing. So there may be more on that. Forgive me if the phone just glitched for a minute. I'm low on battery, so we'll see how that goes. I must round off then in that case. But just to say that there was one lost going to ground from Canterbury Cathedral, which I did a short post from there while the conference was beginning, and then forgot to post it. So I might just pop this up and that episode, and then see where we go from here. But let me know how you are, what you'd like from going to ground if we continue. And it's lovely just to check in this Sunday evening. Peace be with you, whatever you're doing. And I trust that all is well. I better go now and keep the peace between these dogs and get ready for Sunday supper. God bless you as you go to ground.